And you're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. After a 3-year hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the annual procession of the image of the Black Nazarene returns. Hundreds of thousands of Catholic faithful started the march from Quirino Grandstand to Quiapo Church to mark the return of the Traslación Tuesday. The procession will pass through at least 15 streets and will likely last for about 16 hours. We're not really sure about that. Let's go straight to our source today. Our Lady of Fatima University chaplain, Father Nicanor Lalog II. Father Nick, it's good to meet you. Thanks for coming over, Father.
Yes, thank you very much.
Very important, no? And very meaningful, I'm assuming, for the devotees after 3 years. The Traslación is back. Father Nick, what are your expectations for today's Traslación?
You know, last night I joined the Mass.
Yeah,
it was my first time. My first time to join the Mass last night.
Sorry, Father Nick, sorry, this is in Quirino.
In Quirino.
Okay.
And I'm so hopeful. And I feel a different vibration about this year's celebration because Father Jun Sescon, the rector, and even the cardinal stress on the need for spirituality for this Traslación. For the longest time. I think the COVID pandemic, a 3-year hiatus was a break given to us, like a Sabbath, for us to reconsider again. And you know, we have always been attacked by some people that the Quiapo devotion has become sometimes bordering into fanaticism or everything, no? A lot of accusations. But you see, sometimes it seems to be true. Minsan may mga ibang hindi naman deboto, sabi ko nga, deboto, debobo, may ganun eh. Minsan panatiko na eh. Pero what I found last night and this year, the most beautiful aspect is that there's now a strong inclination, a strong drive among the priests to put it on the right direction, to deepen that devotion into something that's more, that is really more, can be felt. You know, we have been
and
all.
How, Father?
I think that's the start. You know, the evangelization of the people, because they would always say, we have been sacramentalized. We go to Mass, but do we really imbibe the meaning of when the priest would say, go in the peace of Christ? Then when you are walking outside and you're already texting, nagmamarites ka na, di ba? That's different. Pero yun nga yun eh. At for example, the cheating and being honest, yung maraming issue natin sa bansa eh. It's so nice to see the sea of devotees, no? Really a sea of devotees. But when after the Traslación, when you look at our country, you read the papers, you watch the news, bakit ganun? Bakit hanggang ngayon may makulit pa rin dumadaan sa bus lane? Hindi pa rin maawat, di ba?
Hindi pa rin disiplinado.
Saan yun? Sabi nga nila ay, you know, last night I was listening, they have 3 cases, no? Sabi nila ay kwento, karanasan, at kilos. Kwento, karanasan, at kilos. Ano yung kwento mo sa Nazareno? Ano yung kwento tungkol doon? Ano yung karanasan mo? Ano yung kilos mo? Pinasan ni Jesus yung krus, nagaanan ka, gumaling yung anak mo, o nakuha mo yung minimithi mo. Ikaw, anong tugon mo? What's your response? The Lord had granted your prayers. Now, what is your response? You know, I have seen in the news, I didn't see it last night, they have put a glass cover to the, you know, I really appreciate Father Jun Sescon last night when he was saying that, you know, the gospel chosen the theme was, we want to see the Lord. Makita si Jesus, nakita ka ni Jesus, ipakita si Jesus. We want to see the Lord sees us, and then how do we show Jesus Christ to the people? Sabi ni Father Jun, sabi niya, tingin ko yun yung pinapakahulugan niya. Kasi pagka yung January 9, a lot often, the devotees already covering the
Hindi mo na makita.
Nazareno.
Yeah, you can't
diba?
see him.
You can see him. Everybody's flocking to, really jumping on the carriage.
So this was a good idea.
It's a good idea, I think. It's a
And
very
really
good
that was
idea.
the plan. So that the people, the devotees, can actually see.
Yes, even those from afar and even those watching by TV. And you know, it's very good, you know, it's courtesy and decency that we often forget. Kasi kung minsan, You know, I'm from Bulacan. I go to the north. When you drive up north, di ba, you will see giant billboards covering Mount Arayat, covering the fields. When you go abroad, you see yung mga sceneries, it's for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah.
Even in the celebration of our Eucharist, of our devotions, I believe, minsan tayong Pilipino, parang ang Diyos sinusolo natin eh. Ako lang lalapit, ako lang makakakita. And it was a very wise move, I think, an even prudent move on the part of Father June and the organizers, that they have put a glass there, they have enclosed the image so everyone can see.
Opo. But Father Nick, how do you, I know this has been asked many times, but I wanted to get your take on it. What is this devotion of millions to the Black Nazarene? Ano ho ba to?
You know, I think it's really something, it's a grace from God, first of all. It's a grace from God. Last night, I met some of my contemporaries in the seminary, from high school seminary. You know, I went to the same high school seminary. I left for 9 years and then I went back. And I met some of them. And I was surprised. It was also his first time to attend the Mass. Marami kaming first-timers kagabi. I think it's always a grace from God for us to have a devotion. Faith is always a gift from God. And this is the most wonderful gift of God to the Filipino people, the gift of faith. In fact, nowadays, they were saying 400 years ago, Spain brought Christianity to the Philippines. And now, even St. John Paul II was telling to Cardinal Sin before, we have brought Christianity to the Philippines, bring back Christianity to Europe. It's the Filipinos who are bringing back Christianity to Europe, even to the States.
Okay. It is true, faith, when you said faith is a gift from God, but I want to find out from you, Father Nick, how do we purposely live this faith?
I think that's where the problem is. There has to be a deepening of our faith. Faith is not everything. It's not everything. Yeah, it's given to you. If your mom, if I give you 1,000 pesos, what you do with your 1,000 pesos? You might splurge on coffee or milk tea or anything else. But for you give it to somebody else, baka kumita pa yung maging 2,000 pesos, 3,000. The same with faith. A lot often, we take it for granted. And that, I think, is the problem. That's why we have that maxim in our class before, that Filipinos are sacramentalized but not evangelized. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And then, nasampal mo, sasaktan mo yung kapwa mo. Yun eh, hindi natin, it has to take root on us.
Okay.
Like Jesus Christ, in the Gospels, you have many instances, like the blind Bartimaeus. He was at the side of the road, and he was shouting. And then, Jesus, have mercy on me. Then Jesus called him. You know, that imagery from the side, the blind man going to the main road. We have to go to the main road. I was watching the news earlier, your interview with Congressman. It's so sad to hear that kind of news. I've been a newsman before, but you know, that's what I tell people. You know, bakit merong manlulok? But you know, would they be brave enough to stand for what is true? Eh yun nga eh, that's the simple EDSA bus lane. Kahit gawin mo 10,000 siguro, meron pa rin magpipit. Bakit? Wala sa kanyang, how do you call that? Walang patumangga, walang pakialam na unahan ko sa lahat. They forget the dimension of the social dimension, we forget that.
Right.
Madalas tayo, vertical, me and God. No, you have to find God in other people.
That's, I think you said that right. Hindi lang vertical, me and God. Me, us, and God.
Yeah, us, God.
Father Nick, thank you so much for being here and giving us, you know, a lot of siguro food for thought that we can digest and hopefully carry on for a longer period of time. Father Nick, maraming salamat po sa inyo.
God bless.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.